Good evening. This is Friday, May 23rd, 165 days until the 2008 presidential election. The afternoon beginning with the Clinton campaign strongly denying a report that it and the Obama campaign had been holding talks about exit strategies for Senator Clinton. But by late afternoon, no denial even necessary when Senator Clinton herself invoked, inadvertently or otherwise, Robert Kennedy's assassination as a seeming reason for continuing her campaign. Our fifth story in the countdown, Senator Clinton dismissing the idea of dropping out so early in an interview with a South Dakota newspaper, saying, quote, "We all remember Bobby Kennedy was assassinated in June in California. You know, I don't understand it." Later this hour, everything I do not understand about why Senator Clinton would say such a thing ever in a special comment. First tonight, the details. The interview was with the editorial board of the Sioux Falls, South Dakota Argus Leader newspaper. It was recorded on streaming internet video. It is a little choppy. And Senator Clinton comments on the length of the Democratic nominating contest.
People have been trying to push me out of this ever since Iowa. And
Why?
I find that, I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I find it curious because it is unprecedented in history. I don't understand it. And, you know, between my opponent and his camp and some in the media, there has been this urgency to end this. And, you know, historically that makes no sense. So I find it a bit of a mystery.
You don't buy the party unity argument?
I don't, because, again, I've been around long enough. You know, my husband did not wrap up the nomination in 1992 until he won the California primary somewhere in the middle of June, right? We all remember Bobby Kennedy was assassinated in June in California. You know, I don't understand it.
Earlier tonight here on MSNBC, Obama's chief strategist David Axelrod giving Senator Clinton the benefit of the doubt, saying he honestly did not believe Senator Clinton was citing a possible assassination as a reason for her to stay in the race. Mr. Axelrod adding that Senator Obama has always believed his opponent has every right to continue, and he has not been trying to push her out, as she today had claimed. After an event at a supermarket in Brandon, South Dakota, Senator Clinton attempting to clarify her own remarks herself.
I, regret that if my referencing that moment of trauma for our entire nation, and particularly for the Kennedy family, was in any way offensive. I certainly had no intention of that whatsoever. My view is that we have to look to the past and to our leaders who have inspired us and give us a lot to live up to, and I'm honored to hold Senator Kennedy's seat in the United States Senate from the state of New York, and have the highest regard for the entire Kennedy family. Thanks.
Time now to call on our own Howard Fineman, senior Washington correspondent for Newsweek magazine. Howard, good evening.
Hi, Keith.
Obviously, the operative word here is assassination. She used it at least once before as a historical marker to time 2 months ago, but all the references since to even timing, to even Robert Kennedy's death, had avoided that word. That word is a third-rail word in American politics, is it not?
It sure is, and it shocked her today, shocked the world of the campaign. I've been on the phone and blackberrying with leaders in both camps and elsewhere, and you saw Hillary Clinton in that supermarket there looking kind of dazed herself. I think she realized that she had done something here that's going to be very hard to repair, even though David Axelrod, the leader of the Obama campaign, told me in the similar words. He said, look, I assume she didn't mean anything here. You know, it's too dark a thought to think otherwise. And I think most fair-minded people would say, well, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. At the very least, though, it's extremely weird. I mean, as the Obama people were pointing out to me, there are plenty of other examples she could have cited. She could have cited 1984 or 1988, Mike Dukakis. She could have even talked about Ronald Reagan and Gerald Ford battling it out to the floor of the convention in Kansas City in 1976. And she's got something on her mind there that I think has troubled a lot of people somehow.
She also apologized for it when she did. An apology might even be too strong a term. She expressed her regrets, specifically to the Kennedy family, but not to Senator Obama. not to Senator McCain, who's another candidate in this race while this term is out there. Does that not seem to have left even the regrets part of the job sort of half done?
Well, it was a double pass there, Keith. She not only didn't actually apologize to the Kennedy family, she said, if anybody is upset about it, then I'm sorry.
Yep.
And of course, she completely avoided the main subject here, which is the notion that she somehow, even inadvertently or somehow subconsciously in some weird way, was bringing up the possibility that there might be some cataclysmic event in the campaign here like that. So she seems constitutionally incapable of just saying, I screwed up.
Yep.
And her sort of lead-footedness about this here is being observed by all the people who are still undecided about whom to back, the last 200 superdelegates here. They've got to be looking at this and saying, you know, this is a campaign that probably needs to be put out of its misery real soon.
What is the big picture impact here on her own supporters? Obviously, Governor Patterson of New York had already been moved earlier this week to say that she was showing signs of desperation in some of the things she had said. What happens to her supporters relative to her candidacy now?
Well, you haven't seen a lot of people rushing to the cameras to defend her here, and I've heard from people in the Clinton camp who are just disconsolate, I think, because they think it's unfair. They think it's clear that she didn't mean such a dark thought, and I think that's probably true, but they're wringing their hands and sort of staring at the ground because they know that this is the kind of slip-up at this point so late in the campaign that she simply couldn't afford. People have to be careful about what they say. Barack Obama took hits for the cling to remarks, Michelle for the I'm now proud of, and on and on and on. If she's the consummate professional, if she's the one who's supposed to be the stronger candidate in the general election campaign, she shouldn't be saying something like this.
Well put from Howard Fineman of MSNBC and Newsweek. Thank you, Howard. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too, Keith.